Saying you're in the show. Okay. Okay then. Hi everyone. Welcome to the webinar that we're doing today. I want everyone to just say hi on the comment section so that I can see there are actual people viewing us and watching us live. We're very excited for this new webinar we're having. We actually have a very special guest today. She's not only a CEO, but she's also a pilot, which is extremely cool if you ask me. But yeah, before we start the presentation and we start the webinar, as I said, I want everyone to start commenting on the comment section so I know everyone can hear me, they can see me, and then we can start. Okay, I'll wait. Let's do the waiting game like every time.
There shouldn't be any waiting. We should reward the ones who are on time.
We're generous here. Sometimes people have school and classes and exams and work. So sometimes they text us and say, Inky, can you please wait 2 more minutes? Because I'm coming, I promise. So I like to give like at least 5 minutes for everyone to join.
Cool.
Hi, I'm gonna butcher your name again, but like Jean-Pierre, I guess. I guess hi. Imad, hi, welcome. So can you guys hear me and see us properly? Because we have a presentation for all of you today, so I want to make sure that everyone can see us and they can hear us, so there are no problems later on. Okay, yes, they can hear us very good, they say. Hi, Shomad. Sorry if I butchered your name. Hi, Thomas. Hello. Okay, we're getting comments, so I guess people do hear and see us. And hi, Muslim. Hi, Abhishek, I guess. Yes. Okay, then. We can start, Melanie. At the beginning, I would like you to present yourself a little bit. I know a lot about you, but for the viewers who don't, maybe they can get a little bit of an insight on who you are and what is it you're doing right now.
Yeah, I just don't want to say too much for myself. I'm also in LinkedIn. You can just connect with me. But just 3 words. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm an adventurer. And as you've already mentioned, I'm a pilot. And I would just like to start directly into the presentation.
Yeah, let's jump
Like,
in then. Of course.
super cool. So, welcome on board. As I said, I'm an entrepreneur, adventurer, and pilot. And in this session, you will also learn what this James Bond movie has to do with increasing the company value with AI. So today, AI is mainly used for automation and process optimization, like you see here, to sort recyclables with computer vision systems. But it's also for lowering costs with drone flights for solar panel maintenance, for example. Duke Energy saves 9,000 working hours per year to use AI in this context with also computer vision. And as you see here, there's a red dot. That means it's your turn now. What do you think is produced here? Just write in the chat, and Enki, if you would be so kind, just read the feedback because I
Of
cannot see
course.
it in the
Yeah, of
chat at the
course.
moment. So
So
what do
guys,
you think is produced here? Any guesses?
we're still
Enki, you
waiting.
can also guess by yourself.
Yeah, sure, maybe. But let's just give the people a bit more, like maybe 1 minute to see what they think. Somebody said AI is going to control the future. Maybe, but that's not the question Melanie asked. So what do you guys think is being produced in the photo that we're seeing right now? I want to know your thoughts. Maybe some of you might have the correct guess.
Yeah, just to spoil it a bit, it has something to do with the last months we've went through.
Somebody said paper. Again, another
Oh
person said
yeah,
paper.
yeah, congrats. You're totally right because these are giant parent rows of paper who are turned into toilet paper. So what you see here is a factory for Procter and Gamble's toilet paper, and they used AI, or are still using AI now, yeah, for forecasting daily needs. They figured out just looking at the historic data is not enough. They really have to look at real time data. Why? Maybe you
Why?
guess it. Toilet paper saves
Some
rows.
somebody said money, I guess. I don't-
That would be, yeah. I think that's the next chapter we are running in through. But they are using AI now for real time data and to forecast their demand because during the pandemic, as you might all know, people just started panic buying toilet paper, so it rose up to 848%, and um, so Procter and Gamble is using AI to enhance their existing products and services, but they also go a step further. They figured out that their largest brand is Pampers, right? But it shows with their data analysis that the growth is flattering because millennials they have less children and also becoming kind of helicopter parents. So Pampers actually was decreasing by 9%, but they figured out baby monitor stays up by 18%. So they are now also using real-time data and also some sensor stuff to yeah just monitor a baby, and they've created new products and services like this sleeping routine app for babies. So what we can see, creating innovation drives the company value, and for a seasoned of AI, creating innovation is higher ranked than lowering costs. So if we think of creating new products and services, we know the failure rate of new products and also startups are still high. So, what I would like to discuss with you is how you can increase the company value with AI. And if we know that new products and startups are still high in their failure rate, we have to figure out, first of all, yeah, what's the problem? We have to understand the problem. Then we can analyze the data and get insights. So, let's start. Why do most startups fail? What's the problem? The latest research by CB Insights, they were looking on post-mortem startups and what are their comments, what would they do the next time better, what was their final reason why they failed. And I would share with you now the top 5 reasons why do most startups fail. So on number 5, you see there are some regulatory legal challenges. For us here, it's also very interesting. Most startups fail because they have a flawed business model. We come back later to that, what that means. And yeah, 20% they just got out competed by their competitors. And guess what's on number 1 when we have no market needs on the second place? Because the last years, maybe some of you know, um, most startups fail because there was no product market need. Uh, but nowadays it's on just on the second place. So do you see the red dot again? What do you think is on the first place? Any guesses? Why do most
Mhm.
startups fail? What do you think?
Guys, comment on the comment section. Let's see what you guys think. Why do most startups fail? As Melanie said, this was number one last year, right, Melanie? But this year it
Yep.
changed.
all the years before, more or less.
Okay.
So
I guess nobody has any guesses.
yeah, most think it's the team. Um, but actually,
Oh,
as you could see, it's not a team. Why the startup failed? It's they just simply ran out of cash or failed to raise new capital, and that's what, yeah, nearly 40% reported. That was the number one reason why they failed. So the question is now, when they don't have the knowledge to pitch right, and fail to raise new capital, how can we avoid this problem? This leads us to our second point. So, what do successful venture capitalists look for? We also did a lot of analysis there, and also spoke with venture capitalists. And I want to share with you some data insights. We figured out that um, some of the first questions are also regarding the problem you're solving. Is are you focused? A lot of startups think that they're focused. But what does focus mean? Nobody really tells you that. We figured out with our data analysis that focus means, yeah, one product, one market, and one customer. And you see, you have to be really disciplined with that, because if you have this focus with this one product, one market, one customer, it also reflects on your website. It reflects on your SEO. So it's a really big issue to stay focused, especially at the beginning. Pain, I've just mentioned it. Do you really solve a pain here? Does your problem solve a pain? Is a painkiller your product or solution? Um, you really have to have an answer on that to raise your capital to finance your startup. Um, yeah, 10x. That doesn't mean that you have yeah, just make more money with 10x for the investor. It's just also for your product. Is it does it save money for your customer in 10x, or does your product or service also yeah um, saves time, for example? Here you see the red dot again. Mode. That's a word your Warren Buffett used to say. And maybe you have some guesses what could be behind this. What could be a success factor for startups? What they should have an eye on regarding mode.
yeah. So again, comment section. By the way, if we waited like 15 more seconds, a lot of people gave answers for the question that you asked before. And a lot of people said lack of capital, lack of money, but they also said lack of
Ah,
market
super.
research, technical incompetencies in the subject, misuse of resources also was one answer, ineffective marketing was another answer, or underdeveloped ideas. But guys, for the question that we have
Super,
now,
guys.
mode,
Mhm.
yeah, mode. So, what I don't know what mode means. Maybe Melanie can explain that so that maybe people can have an idea on what it is as well, because I personally don't.
Yeah, you can see there's a castle in this icon, and around
Yeah.
is a river. So the river protects the castle, and that means moat in English.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So I just spoiled it a bit because there are many success factors we figured out are categorized in this topic.
Mhm.
Usually they say, okay, do you have a patent or do you have a trade secret? But we figured out that you also, yeah, can use network effects to achieve the success factor, to not fail with your business. And one network effect is, for example, expertise. So if your product or service is already used for your customer, at university, for example, to skill them, it's likely with this network effect that if you skilled yourself with this product at university, you're more likely to use it also in your later job. Like we do with IDEASCANNER. IDEASCANNER is a product with which you can scan business ideas, and the more often you use it, you think like a VC, and you think like um, in the success factors, so that you don't fail with your startups. And if you have to make later decision in your job, it's more likely to use IDEASCANNER again, if you are in the strategy department or innovation department, for further decision making. So mode is one thing you really have to have in mind, and a saying from Warren Buffett. Another top secret is the magic number. If an investor asks you what's your magic number, you should know what the magic number is. And with our tool, we provide this knowledge. And just for all of you who don't know it yet, the magic number should be higher than one, and it's the revenue per sales and marketing expenses. And the cool thing is that those numbers are gap based, so they're free available for all public companies. So to get an orientation, if you would be in a good way with your magic number, you can just compare competitors and their magic numbers and see if the idea is worth to implement. Another success factor we figured out is easy. So if your product or service is easy to buy, easy to own, easy to operate, there's no barrier to buy it. You just want it. It's another a good sample from the industry is Amazon. Amazon, they invented this one click, and they
Yeah.
also patented it, so that you don't need to fill out the form for your Amazon orders and give all the data every time again. It's just with one click. So as you see, there are a lot of things you can have in mind. We've started with why startups fail. Now we were looking at what are the success factors for startups, what venture capitals are looking like for. And now the question is, what can we do with this knowledge? How can a business idea be scanned, scored, and scaled? So with IDEASCANNER, we are democratizing this knowledge of success for venture capitalists, and also the success factors of successful business models. And we figured out that the company value arises from 3 points mainly. On the one hand side, you have to be better than your competitors. So you can adjust with the excellence. Sales is also a big issue. The Americans used to say sales cures all. So that's a great um, lever for increasing the company value. But the greatest lever for increasing company value lies in innovation. Why? Because with innovation, you have the chance to achieve a monopoly. So you don't have to be on the race permanently with your competitors. And that's also an insight Peter Thiel mentioned in his book, Zero to One. So for our founders who are thinking to found the next SAP for Europe, it's a good read. He figured out that all companies, all successful companies, they are unique because they are solving one unique problem. And that's the shift you can achieve with innovation. Because all faith companies, he says, um, they are the same. They are not unique. They just fail to escape the competition. And what does it mean regarding AI? What systems or methods can you use? In the earlier example, we had this computer vision systems with this for recyclables or also for the solar panel maintenance. Chatbots, they are always the first thought of, of AI to implement. But with innovation, we are pretty new here. We at IDEASCANNER, we use sentiment analysis and pattern recognition, like you have seen with the approach. So we are looking for what are the failures others have already done so that you don't do the same failures. There are still enough failures you can do to start up with your business. And we also figured out with the matching what successful venture capitalists look for, that there's a pattern about success factors for successful business models. So with IDEASCANNER, we build monopolies and increase company value by leveraging AI. And one of our customers just brings it later. He just said, we, with our knowledge, which is pretty unique, and we've invented the periodic table of business strategy. Because what you see here, you see all the success factors, for example, here for the idea scanner. So what you should have in mind regarding the market, or what are success factors for the business model, or what you should have in mind for your products. So we figured out some patterns there, and it's a permanent process. Also with the wording.
Oh, I guess Melanie just got disconnected. Can you guys comment in the comment section if you can see or hear Melanie, because I cannot. Let me just check. Yeah, you can't hear her, right? You can't see her. Okay, then maybe she had like a small Wi-Fi problem or like a connection problem. That we can wait a bit, and hopefully she will be able to fix it. Yeah, until she comes, then let's have a small chat. Oh, Ali's here, I guess, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. I thought it was Melanie, but it's okay.
I will continue to talk about AI. So
Why not?
why not, right?
Yeah. So I wanted to ask everyone who is watching us live, how are you guys finding the webinar until now? Do you have any questions? Because once Melanie is done with her presentation, you will all have the chance to ask her questions. We will have like a 15-minute Q&A section. So if you do have questions, just put them on the comment section. We will choose them, and we are going to ask them to Melanie so that she can answer them for you. Yeah. Okay, then. It's just a waiting game, I guess.
Yes. She
She's
came
here?
here.
Okay.
Yes. Welcome back, Melanie.
Hi guys. Where have we been recently?
So I guess you had a small connection problem, right?
I think that's Germany. I'm sorry for that.
It's okay. It's
But
completely okay.
I cannot see you either now.
Can't you?
Hopefully we don't have bigger issues now.
Yeah, hopefully. Maybe
So
you can just start your presentation again and carry on from where we left.
yeah, what was the last slide you have seen, Anki?
The last slide, so the slide before that was you were showing us an image of idea scanner and you said that we create the periodic table, and then it was a slide about idea scanner using artificial intelligence. So not this one, the other one,
Mm-hmm.
the one after this. So I guess, yeah, this is where we are.
Ah, super cool. So, welcome back, everyone. What we provide with Idea Scanner Expert Report is that we put the current business model to the test, analyze the status quo, match it with our pattern analysis regarding the success factors and what venture capitals are looking for, always with the aim to illustrate how to increase sales potential within the next 5 years. And one example is a family business, a wholesale. He came to us. It's nearly a 100-year-old company, but their business model was threatened, and the only unique position was the price, and that's not a real USP. And they had no successor, and they were wondering to sell the company or just to close it. But we said, okay, 100 years, you should fulfill it. Let's just have a view and see if we can adjust your business model by having a look on the status quo and how we can adjust your business model. And we figured out a clear focus. Former, the wholesale, they had no focus. Now we've invented an innovation radar with hybrid intelligence for them. That means they're in the wholesale and they are now just focused on innovative and sustainable startups who want to bring their products and services to retail. So we could do a match here and do exclusive contracts now between the two. And guess what? With those new innovative and sustainable startup gadgets his dad is now bringing to retail, the son is interested and yeah, wants to get in. And we also can show the client how he can increase his sales 10x within the next 5 years. So in Germany, we have a lot of companies who are now facing insolvencies. They don't have to. You can. You should always put your current business model to the test and see if you can improve something. And in the last 12 months, with Idea Scanner, we generated a sales potential with nearly 6 million euro for our mandates. That's the current status. So you see the sales potential here behind. And now we come back to this guy in this mini helicopter kind of flying car. This is James Bond in the movie You Only Live Twice. And my partner Andreas and I were dreaming about doing adventures in such vehicle. Do you see me, by the way?
Yeah, we see you.
Okay, I was not sure. Um, so what does this man has to do with increasing the company value with AI? We've realized a childhood dream by being on adventure in such a similar vehicle. Nowadays, we would say a flying car. Actually, it's called a mini helicopter, a gyrocopter. And we fulfilled our childhood dream. Everybody said it's impossible. We haven't had any pilot license before. We had no clue about writing a book or making a movie out of it. And I can tell you, doing the pilot license was the easiest part. But why I'm telling you this? We later had our access with the cooperation with a TV station here in Germany, and we've also asked children about their dreams around the world, and parts of the revenue from the book and the movie also went back to the children so that they can fulfill their dreams as well. We did this in cooperation with children's charity Terre des Hommes. But I'm telling you this because before we could have this adventure and before we've succeeded, we had to do our pilot license, and our pilot instructor, he said, you have to do a pre-flight check. Before every flight, you have to do a pre-flight check. And that doesn't mean you're just doing tire kicking. You really have to make sure that every screw is where it should be. And here we go. Why isn't there something similar before you start a business? We were asking ourselves. And with IDEASCANNER, we invented just for us at the beginning the pre-flight check for business ideas. And as you can see, with this we give a digital tool into the hand of people so that they scan their business within minutes, based on our sentiment analysis and pattern recognition. And why we're doing this? Because Buckminster Fuller said, if you want to teach people a new way of thinking, don't bother trying to teach them. Instead, give them a tool, the use of which will lead to new ways of thinking. And in our education system, there's a lack of entrepreneurial thinking. There's a lack of knowledge transfer, how to make decisions like VCs, what are the success factors of business models. And we really need those new innovations also for our different nations, and also maybe for the next SAP for Europe. So that's why we've decided to give this knowledge also in a tool in a very earlier stage, for example, at universities for entrepreneurship education, so that the next generation of family owners can adjust the screws and their way of thinking as early as possible. So IDEASCANNER is a tool and method that provides answers to what is the status quo of the business idea. So scan, what is the potential for improvement, score, and how can an idea be improved, scale. So if we go through this with this digital tool, we just provide one magic link, and there you don't have to remember passwords or something. You just have this magic link, and with this you can scan this yourself, the status quo of your business idea, just by answering questions with yes, no, or I don't know. And there you see the success factors again. So we have questions regarding product, business model, and market. And if you scan your ideas by answering this question, you get for the first time a score. So we make for the first time ideas measurable. That means you have an orientation on what is the potential for improvement. And this is automated. So if you scan your ideas and answer all the questions, you get automated the IDEASCANNER score. But what does it mean now? 65%. So what is it? We figured out that if you have a score below 40%, your business tend to be a kind of walking dead business. That seems, your business model seems very project oriented. And if you have a score higher than 70%, you seem to be in the community of the high potentials. There is also very difficult to be the next unicorn, but you haven't done your homework so far. You haven't done the same mistakes all the others have already done. So we can also make a check for score. So we have now the status quo also with the status with the score. But when you are now in an accelerator or incubator program, corporate innovation or entrepreneurship education, we figured out that also regarding for the community and to improve your idea, it's the best that three people scan one idea together. This falls back to a method Ray Dalio is using for his hedge fund. They figured out their best decision were made if three VCs were judging on one investment. So we can do this here also. You can use IDEASCANNER in accelerator incubator programs, especially on onboarding, when all of the startups need to pitch their ideas in front of the other participants, and they can divide them into three groups, and all the three can scan just one idea together, and they can work together. They can share their idea scanner scores. They can share their judgments if pain is given or not, because sometimes especially we women tend to doubt ourselves, to doubt our ideas. And with Idea Scanner, you get a first feedback, as you can see, um, with the Idea Scanner score that might be higher than your gut feeling you would measure on. And we figured out that in this interdisciplinary discussion combined with the tool, you can increase the idea scanner score in average with 20 percentage. So you can also measure the progress of your idea and how it improves. So idea scanner is the tool and method to scan, score, and scale business ideas. And we never wanted to do a business out of it. We just did it on our own. Because we wanted to make sure that the next thing we're doing, we don't do mistakes others have already done, or doing the same mistakes like we have done with other companies before. Andreas, my partner, for example, he has founded several companies before. He also has done his own crash course during the new economy and knew how investors think on before the crash. Everybody wants to expand. After it's like it's now, also in the crisis, you show that you are that you have a good runway, that you generate cash. So Andreas was at the beginning writing his lessons learned from his former startups. Then I myself, I trained in data science, and we categorized all the knowledge within this tool, idea scanner, to scan business ideas. Because the former days when we went for a walk, we had just one idea and then we don't want to hear anything anymore. So to avoid this failure, we invented the idea scanner, and we've validated it. We scanned the portfolio of one of the biggest early stage investor also here in Germany, and we figured out that idea scanner identified 5 million Walking Dead investments. So just imagine if the investor would have put this amount of money in a startup with a higher score, to avoid such failures and bad investments. And during our validation, we figured out that we have a 90% correlation between startup success and idea scanner score. So we then thought, okay, wow, with this potential of monetization and doing better investments, maybe that's a business. And yeah, we started with corporate innovation with Siemens or BMW, and they use IDEASCANNER for their innovation management and also for their decision making processes. And the feedback was that it is really an eye opener and much more effective than anything else, because business model canvas doesn't tell you how to improve your idea. But there we only improve the mindset for entrepreneurial thinking. That's why we want to implement IDEASCANNER for all the startup consultancies, especially at universities. And the university in Würzburg, Schweinfurt, they also using IDEASCANNER, and they said, complementary to what Buckminster Fuller said before, that we've managed to break down a complex topic into meaningful attributes and give them, to an easy to understand tool. So just to sum it up, with IDEASCANNER, we use machine learning, but actually we used the machine and the interaction between the machine and the human being to make the human being think smarter. Not that the machine gets more efficiently work done for us. We can also learn with the data we have. It's a real treasure out there. And with IDEASCANNER, we permanently scan more than 400 million internet sources about M&A process, next financing rounds, also to be sure to always stay on track. What are the current success factors for startups? So when you want to use IDEASCANNER for your corporate innovation or for your university and accelerate the incubator programs there, you really have a standard tool there, a tool that transforms your mindset to make you act like a VC and make decisions like a VC. And we really recommend this peer-to-peer approach with this 3-person scan one idea. And the aim is, of course, for an existing company to increase company value with the knowledge we playfully provide here with the IDEASCANNER. But it's always a huge step to found a company, and founders should know where they are at the moment, and investors should also avoid less walking dead ideas and do better investments. And so if you think that's also something for you or for your for consultancies, for your startup consultancies at your university, or for your innovation manager at your corporate innovation department, just DM me. I'm on LinkedIn, and we can schedule a free online demo, and I will also answer then their further questions, maybe your individual questions or problems you are having. So that was it. Increasing company value with AI and with IDEASCANNER. We empower you to think smarter by scan, score, scale your business idea.
Thank you very much, Melanie. It was really a great presentation. I personally learned so much, and I checked IDEASCANNER before, but I never really understood its concept until now, and I'm actually very impressed. But I do have a few questions for you, and these are just my questions actually. And before I ask them, I want everyone to write their questions on the comment section, and then I will ask them to Melanie, and then we're going to answer them for you. So my question is on the scaling part. So you said that you can invite 3 people to give you feedback and their own comments on your business model, right? So these people, are they people that only work as part of that company, or can these people be, for example, potential investors, let's say, or people from other companies, or like other people who are just part of that community?
Mm, that could be, but our business model is license model.
Mm-hmm.
So we have the, yeah, the lowest entry is, or the cheapest entry is with a 3-year license model, and this is for one university or for one company, and within this institution, everybody can use IdeaScanner for their different
Okay.
programs. So to answer your question, if there in this institution are interdisciplinary units
Mm-hmm.
or faculty, yeah, you can just put them together. And we figured out, it's also the feedback we've get. That's super cool that we make ideas measurable for the first time,
Mm-hmm.
but that you work together in a peer-to-peer approach. That's the learning. You just have
Yeah,
the
totally.
tool that triggers you to answer the question and to
Yeah.
discipline yourself. For example, in Siemens, there were two senior innovation manager, and they scanned a product idea. And during answering questions regarding the product, business model, and market, they really got disciplined. They turned around their business model because they were triggered to think, yeah, like you see regarding scalable business
Mm-hmm.
potential. And at the end, um, they transformed this product idea to a service idea, which is more scalable because then they figured out, okay, we don't have to invent it on our own. We can be part of the value chain, and yeah, it's a really good output in a very short time. So
Mm-hmm.
it looks super easy. It is also super easy, and it's also fast, but it's also very profound. And it's really now the other way around, that the machine is now learning us to
Yeah.
think smarter.
That's super cool. Yeah, thank you for your answer. Also, I wanted to ask you, you mentioned how investors can make choices, their choices by seeing, by being part of Idea Scanner, right? I saw in one slide um, there was something saying that investors can also get like feedback as well through Idea Scanner. Maybe I misunderstood that, but that was going to be my question actually. Like, let's say you have 100 companies that are part of Idea Scanner, and let's say you have 10 people who are potential investors for these startups. Can these investors be part of Idea Scanner and maybe check the score of these startups so they make like a better decision on whether they want to invest in that startup or not? Because you said you have a score, right? For each company you give a score. So can potential investors, like big investors, and of course they have to like be part of the Idea Scanner, can they get the data but in a maybe not anonymous way, but just like a score for this company, and that's how they can make better decisions on whether they invest in that startup or not?
Yes, if they license Idea Scanner, they can do so. They can do it on their own. If they
Mm-hmm.
are not sure about the company, and if they are small
Yeah.
family office, for example, um, they can call us, and we do the scan for them. Like I've
Mm-hmm.
mentioned at the beginning with this periodic table of business
Yeah.
strategy. So there you get not on one sheet, like you do it in a group together. You get for every success factor, which can be adjust, where we see potential regarding our analysis. You get how might we trigger points individualized to your current business model to work out a focus together, to implement a strategy which is for sustainable, successful business model.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. So, actually, the last question we have is, sorry, what are the advantages and disadvantages of using AI in companies? Are there any risks? If there are, what can they be?
Yeah, if you have people in the company, and if someone says, okay, we have now here an AI, whatever that means. Most people nowadays, they don't know AI. They don't know the methods behind. And our task also as a community with Global AI Hub is to cut off this fear and replace it with knowledge. That's why I'm also engaged. I really love to support also the 10 million project, and I would love to see also the next SIP maybe just founded only by female founders. How would that be? But just to answer your question, the first reaction is often, if the boss is now saying we implement here AI, will my place will be replaced. So that's the fear number one, and it's hard to convince the people to ask question, why would we use AI? We use AI if there's something to automate. So we are human beings. Our brains have also great potentials. So um, it's it's not a disadvantage, first of all, but our task is also to communicate that we can skill ourselves if we want to. There are also at the Global AI Hub, you also have this business path. I also like where you can um, also dive into deeper into the different sectors and how you can use AI there and increase the value. Um, so I think that's the first disadvantage, that people think that they are replaced. But um, every innovation has its history, and we still are reading books, so we will still need people to work. And IDEASCANNER is also not replacing VCs. It's not replacing startup consultancies. It's not replacing an innovation manager. It's an assistant. It's a data-driven decision-making tool, and um, that's that's where I see at the moment the most potential. Also in the understanding, what is AI, where are we heading? That it's not the AI or the human; it's that we should work together. And yeah, so
Thank
as
you very
I
much.
mentioned before, most examples are to improve work efficiency, so reduce duration times to accomplish certain tasks. Um, I think that's a super advantage with AI. But regarding our subject, it's pretty new to use also data-driven decision making in innovation strategy. In daily use, AI is more or less everywhere in the tools we use. We don't know it, but it's also good that we don't see the AI. That we just get the best output out of it.
So like for me, this is how I like to think of AI. It's more like a third hand that we get. So we usually have two hands, so like a third hand. That doesn't actually replace people. It's just like, so like you said, it's just assisting us to do a better job, and
Yeah.
to make better decisions, more logical decisions that will actually help the company have better success, rather than base our decisions also on the emotional aspects, because we are human beings at the end of the day. And no matter how logical, no matter how I don't know what the word is, but like we don't want to use our emotions when we make these big decisions regarding like business plans or like huge companies, like investments. So that's what AI is there for, actually, to help these companies and startups to make more critical decisions that will actually that are based on data, rather than just a gut feeling, let's say, or just
Yeah.
like, I think like this, or this is how I want to do it. Because there unfortunately are a lot of CEOs or like investors or whatever who say, this is how I want to do it, so this is how it's going to get done. No, wait, let's see the data first, and then we can make like a better decision, right? Because I think that's why most companies also fail. because of the decisions they make on the business model, but also the decisions they make moving forward as well. So yeah, that was what I wanted to add. I guess we don't have any more questions actually. So I just wanted to say thank you very much for coming to this webinar, and it was really a great lecture that you gave. I hope we can do another one together very soon. And as Melanie also mentioned, everyone, you can just add her on LinkedIn, ask her any questions you want. If you want to talk more about Idea Scanner with Melanie, just send her a message, and I guess she will be more than happy to answer all of them for you.
Yeah, and I also would like to see more female founders to start up a business in AI, and that's also a challenge. So let's join forces together. If you have, there's an accelerator program at your university or incubator at your company, do something for more women in AI, and make this knowledge transfer and empower them to make decisions like you see.
Yeah, exactly. So thank you very much once again, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you very much for coming and watching us live. I hope you enjoyed this webinar as well. Have a good one. Good night, Melanie. Good night, everyone.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you very much.